Thank you, Senator Rosen. And with the approval of the chairman, I have a few additional questions. We all recognize that probably the most fatal and lethal drug that is affecting this country is fentanyl. It has an extraordinary lethality, and it's something that I think is reflected in the questions my colleagues raised and I've raised about this approach to reduce these lethal drugs coming in. Ms. Ano, where is the greatest source of precursors for fentanyl in the world?
Ranking Member, my understanding is China is.
That is my understanding also. And do you understand where most of these precursors are sent for processing before entering the United States? What country that might be?
Ranking Member, I don't know exactly what country that
Well,
is.
The data from many different government sources, Mexico. In fact, Cato Institute a few years ago, that 93% of the seizures were at legal crossings at the southern border. So the implication, I think, is very clear that Mexico is really the source of the most lethal drugs coming into the United States, which raises the question, Mr. Young, which you might have considered, why are we attacking ships off of Venezuela who are shipping probably cocaine or marijuana?
Sir, we're conducting those attacks because the President of the United States directed that we conduct those attacks. He views those, sir, he's made the determination that they are an imminent armed threat to the United States.
Well, if the most lethal chemicals coming across, which is the whole predicate of his approach, these are not armed forces that are attempting to attack the United States violently and kinetically and seize territory or inflict direct casualties on Americans. It's the cumulative effect of the drugs that are coming across. And it seems to be interesting that the president would choose a relatively minor source of drugs coming in versus the huge introduction of fentanyl in this country through Mexico. In fact, we're doing nothing in the Pacific, and we're certainly restraining, I think, sensibly from attacks against Mexican shipping and Mexican communities. Again, I think we have to understand that this is more a kind of messaging than sensible policy of the United States. And the message is, which is very good for TV, is we're killing people. Indeed, Mr. Young, did you approve an order or consult to an order by the Secretary of Defense to kill these traffickers and to destroy their vessels so that no survivors or evidence of drugs would be available?
Sir, I am the Principal Deputy General Counsel. The General Counsel has been involved directly with that. It's my understanding that the vessels were targeted, and it's my understanding under the operations order that was issued by by competent U.S. military authority that the vessels would be sunk so that they would not present a hazard to shipping, sir.
Well, that's somewhat ridiculous. If American personnel can destroy a ship, they certainly can get close enough to ensure it does not become a hazard to navigation. And in fact, one of the attacks, the missile strikes were followed up by a helicopter using 50 caliber machine guns to shred what was ever left. So that's really, I think, a very tenuous to hang upon. Mr. Young, a final question. The administration announced, and some of my colleagues have noted, that the first lethal strike in the Caribbean killed members of Tren de Agua. However, the administration did not identify the affiliation or nationality of the other individuals killed in the following 3 strikes. What designated terrorist organization did the individuals from the last 3 strikes belong to?
Senator, I am not personally familiar with the designation of the strikes for each of those strikes and the cartels that they may have been associated with. We'd have to get back with you on that, sir.
Well, I wish you will immediately, because we'll request in writing the identification. Again, thank you, gentlemen. On behalf of Chairman Wicker, this concludes today's hearing. I'd like to thank our witnesses for their testimony. For the information of members, questions for the record will be due to the committee within 2 business days at the conclusion of the hearing. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.